Good morning, I'm Sunetra Choudhury, National Political Editor of Hindustan Times, bringing you the best from our pages. It's Monday, April 13th. First up, a look at the numbers. There are now 9,191 cases of COVID-19 across the country, and there have been 326 deaths. The looming 10,000 number is one perhaps that authorities are very, very apprehensive about. But our first story is how India should emerge from this lockdown. We still don't know whether it's been extended or not. It looks like it may be for 2 more weeks. But what the Commerce Ministry is proposing is that certain sectors should be reopened with, of course, the caution in place and standard operating procedures in place. For instance, they're saying that the housing and construction sector should be started. They're proposing that a lot of the construction activity could help the economy and the migrant laborers, and so if they stay on the site and it means that they don't travel around, then it could be an option. The other sectors, of course, they're proposing is the automotive, food and beverages companies also start production. This, of course, is a proposal to the Ministry of Home Affairs. They have to take the final call. It's something a lot of the chief ministers have been asking as well. In their meeting with the Prime Minister, they said that they were running short of cash, and this was a problem. We have to wait and see what the Prime Minister announces. The second story that we have, of course, is the various models that are being circulated as successful models. One, according to the Health Ministry, is the Agra model of how it saw a spurt of cases in March but has since then able to curtail them by quarantining people, identifying and then testing them. But another interesting case study is the successful way that Kerala has managed to come down the graph. It was the first state to be hit, but since then it is now much, much lower down the list. Maharashtra, of course, is now the worst hit. Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said it's not time to celebrate just yet, but on Sunday they only reported a couple of new cases. So that perhaps is something to look out for. They also have had aggressive testing in the states, showing that testing is a key area in how to tackle COVID-19. The third interesting is a trend story that we are seeing in teaching. Across the world and in India, various campuses have now introduced online teaching. Yet Delhi University teachers have complained that when they share those links for their online classes, there are elements who come into the chat rooms, post obscene messages. Couple of Delhi University teachers have complained of that, and now it's for university authorities to take precautions. Singapore, for instance, has banned certain applications which they say is more prone to hacking. So that's something to look out for. A worrying study that has been published in a US journal says that the virus may be airborne for up to 4 meters. Now this is really worrying, and it comes after the Health Ministry and others have said that the virus is not airborne, but genetic material has been found, especially in hospitals and ICUs dealing with COVID-19 patients. They found that several hours later, they could find genetic material of the virus on the floor, which they say explains how health workers may be transmitting them from their shoes. The other hotspots are mouses, doorknob handles, and perhaps this is an indicator of how health workers may be spreading and the kind of protective gear they need to use in order to protect themselves and also others. And finally, it's the beginning of the festive season of Bihu, and that's why it's perhaps apt to end on a good note. The good news is that more than 1,000 people have recovered of COVID-19 just in India. The number across the world is more than 400,000 people worldwide have recovered as well. So it's not all gloom and doom, and certainly explains why those who have suffered and come from hospitals should not be mistreated by their neighbors and the community. That's all for today. Keep tracking all these stories on HindustanTimes.com.